Oh.
And get this is your number one, isn't it? Timmy Mallet.
Timmy Mallet. Yeah,
Timmy Mallet,
he loves
Oxford
it.
United fan. Here we go. It's the Pompey Pod with Mike and Dan. We are recording the evening of the 6-1 defeat to Stoke City, for goodness sakes. Anyway, this is our preview of the Oxford United game this weekend at Fratton Park, 12:30 kickoff. We'll come back to the Stoke defeat next week when we review that. But for now, we should take positivity, hopefully, from reviewing the Stoke game. Dan, have we played Stoke before? And how, if so, how have we got on?
You mean Oxford?
Yeah, Oxford. Yeah. Played Stoke before.
We've recently played Stoke. Yeah. Just get my head straight. We've literally just finished watching the Stoke game. So yeah,
it's atrocious, isn't it?
Yeah.
From minute one. Anyway, let's get it out of the way.
Okay.
From minute one, atrocious, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right. Anyway. Okay.
Yes,
Oxford. Moving on to Oxford. So we've played them 76 times, and we have drawn 24. We've lost 24, but we've won 28. So 2 games in a row where we've got a better record than the opposition. I'm really trying to keep it upbeat. Right. So, scores over the years have been pretty low. Like the highest score for both teams is a 4-1 win. Which have both come in the last 10 years. So they've always been fairly close games. We haven't lost in the last 5. So we've in the last 5 games, we've won 2 and drawn 3 against Oxford, which I found a little bit surprising because I thought we had a not a brilliant record against them recently. But yeah, so there you go. That's it.
Okay. Sadie's first Pompey goal as well, wasn't it, last season? The winner.
That's right, yeah.
That was Sadie's first Pompey goal. Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about Oxford United FC. They were founded as Headington Football Club in 1893, a long time ago. I thought Oxford were a much newer club than that, but 1893, the club adopted its current name in 1960. They're nicknamed the U's. I couldn't really find out why they're nicknamed the U's. Maybe because of the United, perhaps. I don't know. Didn't really find out. But they've played their home games at the 12,500-seater Kassam Stadium since 2001. Do you remember what it was called before that, Dan? Or not what it was called, where they played. Yes, the Manor Ground is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a U-shaped stadium, and I wonder if that's in homage to their nickname. I don't know.
I guess so. Yeah.
It could be. Maybe
is there a big
third stand.
Industry?
Around the Oxford area. Possibly it is. Like Portsmouth, they have had their fair share of financial hardship over the years due to various dodgy owners. Robert Maxwell being one of those back in the 80s. Don't know if you remember him owning Oxford United. I'm sure the Oxford United fans certainly do. Right, here you go. Celebrity fans of Oxford. Tim Henman, the former number 1, UK number 1, British number 1. Jim Rosenthal, commentator. And get this is your number 1, isn't it? Timmy Mallet.
Timmy Mallet. Yeah,
Timmy Mallet,
he loves
Oxford United fan. Yes. Who's the governor? Who's the governor?
Do you know who the governor is?
I do.
Governor is Des Buckingham.
Is he from Buckingham?
No, he's not. He's from Oxford, I believe. He was he was born in Oxford. He had spells in the youth and reserve teams, but actually started coaching at the age of 18, with Oxford, worked his way through the age groups, and ended up underneath Chris Wilder in the 13-14 season. And then he's had a bit of a strange career. Like I say, he's only young. He then went to Wellington in New Zealand, and there was he became the youngest coach in A-League history at the age of 31. Then had a spell at Stoke City, under 23. Went back to New Zealand, joined A-League Melbourne in Australia, and then before he went to Oxford, or went sort of back to Oxford, he was at Mumbai, where he helped Mumbai City win the league in 2023, breaking 15 records on the way, including the most points and goals scored in a single season, best goal difference, and most league wins, and etc. etc.
Nice.
And one more interesting fact about Des is that he is the last remaining person called Des in England.
after obviously Des Lynam.
Yeah.
The last Des after Des Lynam.
After Des Lynam, yeah. That's not true, that last one, but all the rest is.
It should be true.
Yeah. You don't get many Deses these days, do you?
If you are a Des who is younger than Des Buckingham, let us know in the comments. Anyway, I'll tell you who their key players are. Cameron Brannigan. I don't know if he's played a key role this year, but I was very impressed with him last season. I thought he was probably the top centre midfielder in League One last season. I thought he was quality, absolute quality, and probably even slightly better than our own Marlon Pack. Ex-Liverpool youth player. Definitely. I think one of the standout players in League One last season, and definitely championship material. Ruben Rodriguez is, I've written down here, 38-year-old Portuguese forward. I don't think he is. I think he's a 28-year-old Portuguese forward. He actually scored the equaliser against Luton the other night, when their 2-2 draw away to Luton. Drawing with Luton is a bit of a common there for these teams that come up from the League One. Two more players I put as an outliner. Two reasons for this. One is Idris El Mizuni. The reason why I put him in, 24-year-old midfielder, signed from Ipswich this summer. I've put him in because he was one of the players I put as our 5 potential signings for this summer. He looked a good midfielder. I thought he had started well at Oxford. 8 games, 1 assist, 1 goal. He's doing all right in the centre of midfield for Oxford. Big sigh. And then finally, Dane, the Pimpernel Scarlet. Ex-Pompey Loney was at. He's there. He's rocked up at Oxford. Don't know how he's doing at Oxford so far, but I put him in just because he's an ex-Pompey Loney. Didn't really do much at Pompey. He was set to be the new Harry Kane at Spurs. Apparently, he's not really done much on his loan visits so far. Little interesting fact about Dane Scarlett. Do you know what his middle name is, Dan?
Captain.
It should be Captain. It is Pharrell, as in happy singer Pharrell.
All right. He's definitely named after him, is he?
I imagine so. It's spelled exactly the same, and he's probably about the age where Pharrell would have been starting to kick off in his NERD sort of period. Anyway.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I'm going to go with it. I'm going with it. He is named after Pharrell.
Yeah, all right.
So, what you got on the recent form for Oxford?
Yeah, doing all right, aren't they? We were one of the team they were one of the teams that we hoped would sort of be down there with us, and we always sort of before the season we were like, oh yeah, so we'll take points off of Oxford, but now we've just been absolutely spanked by Stoke. So they've won 3, drawn 2, lost 3. 3 wins out of 8 games. That's a excellent return, really, for a team that's just gone up from the playoffs, League One.
It's very good.
Fair play to them. It is actually already a must-win, isn't it? on Saturday.
It's a must win. It's definitely a must win. It's a must win.
Sounds
I said,
say after 7 games, doesn't it? But
yeah,
it really is a must
8
win
games now, Dan. It's 8 games now, I'm afraid.
Games,
but 4 defeats, 4 draws, and 1 absolute spanking, as you say. It is a must win, I think. It's what do you think? Score. It's difficult to predict the score, isn't it? Immediately after getting beaten so badly and playing so bad, it's the worst we played. I can't remember the last time we played so badly. Well, actually, I can. I would say Charlton at home just before Christmas in the Danny Cowley era, when we got beat 3-0. I think it was probably Cowley's last game.
Yeah,
we were atrocious that day.
Yeah.
We were atrocious tonight.
Yeah. Anyway, Oxford beat Stoke as well. That's one of the teams they've beaten. So I don't know. It's very difficult. As this is a preview of the Oxford game, I don't want to go too much into the Pompey team, but it's very difficult to know which team we're going to be, which players we're going to be putting out, which 11 are going to start the game. So I don't know. I'm going to go with a win or a draw
or a defeat. Okay, I'm going to go for a double fingers crossed win. Yeah. We need to win. We need to win. We can't.
We do need to win.
There's no, if we don't get a win from this one, we already 9 games in. I'd say we're looking doomed. So we need to win this, and then onwards and upwards from there. But tonight was horrendous. So hopefully, much better to come. Okay.
Thank you.
That is our preview to the Oxford United game this weekend. Play Up Pompey. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. It keeps us a little bit happy. Get involved as well. Put some comments in. We generally get comments from the opposition fans, but please, Pompey fans, put some comments in. What do you think? What do you think of John Mousinho? What do you think of his tactics? What do you think of his team selection? Should Blair have played? Should Farrell have played? Is Farrell injured? We don't know. Anyway, pop in some comments. That's it for this one. We'll be back with a review of Stoke and Oxford next week. Play Up Pompey. Goodbye.
Bye.